Hi Jonas. First, I guess an admin question around the Gold Cup and whether we know yet about the dates that players will have to be released for that, particularly with, I think it's the Man United game, and whether you'll have the Canadian players and Emily Fox available for that game.
I mean, the formal dates where association can demand their players, I mean, that's all set in the FIFA regulations. And that comes before the Man United game. It's the Monday, the week before the actual tournament commences. But then it's obviously a discussion with the different associations that can call up players to see what's best for the players, what's best for the national team, what's best for the club team, and finding solutions there. And I think that's not only a straightforward answer. That might be that different associations view that differently, and I mean, we will communicate that in due time when we know.
And on the kind of transfer window, I wondered whether looking forward to maybe future transfer windows, it feels like to me from the outside, maybe summer 2022, Arsenal didn't get everyone or everything they wanted. The 2023 windows were quite busy, almost frantic. Whereas this one just past seems to have been a bit quieter. I wondered whether that going forward, you feel your squad's quite settled and maybe the next couple of windows might have this slightly quieter feel to them.
I think we're not looking for quantity, we're looking for quality. I think we have been investing heavily in the background with our recruitment team, and that's obviously don't give an effect the first week you have people in the building, but it starts to give us real positive effects now, being able to be really proactive with our squad planning and being able to do things much earlier than we have been able to do before. So I hope that the feeling of us being frantic and so on, I hope we will not feel that, but also for us as a club that can be doing business as early as possible, for getting both people settled in, but also to work long term. That is really the plan, and I think we're at a much better stage now to be able to do so than we were, for example, like 2.5 years ago.
And you brought Sarah Buhadi in, principally to cover for the Gold Cup, but I know you've talked before, and we've talked before about what goalkeepers can take from one another. And I wondered what you're really hoping in the short time that she's here that perhaps Manu and Sabs can pick up from Sarah Buhadi.
I mean, apart from her experience and apart from all her winning records and goalkeeper quality, one thing that really sticks out with Sarah is her leadership qualities and her ability to communicate and set really high standards both on herself and others around. She knows what it takes to win. She's not shy to communicate that, so I really hope that that's something that she will give us a little bit of as well during the time she spends with us.
Sorry, just the last one from me on West Ham. They've had a lot of activity during the January transfer window. Again, probably a team that didn't get everything they wanted done in the summer, and they brought a lot of really good new players in. How much harder does that make this game to prepare? Because it wasn't that long ago that Arsenal played West Ham, but they've had quite a few new players since then.
Yes, of course, their process is going to be quick here now, and they're gonna work with their relationship, and they're probably gonna evolve their way of playing. I have a lot of respect for West Ham as an opponent. I think you can see the league table in two different stages. One is that you purely look at the points and the actual goal difference, and that paints one picture. But remember, we only played 12 games, which is it's more than half in the WSL. But if you would compare that to another league where you would play 38 to 46 games, it's not a lot of games in a low-scoring sport like football. And West Ham, from an XG perspective, is the number 5th ranked team in this league. So I think that's the team that has massively underperformed for points compared to their performances so far this season. For me, West Ham's performances in a lot of games have been really strong. And like to your point, I think they made a really strong transfer window as well, brought in some real quality players. So for me, that's a really strong opponent, and we need to be on our best behaviour.
Thanks, Jonas.
Thank you.
Stephen.
What are Jonas? Any team news updates for the West Ham game?
No, not really. Nothing that changes. That from Liverpool, we have a suspension with Katie McCabe, who obviously is not available. Apart from that, no news.
Yeah, would that be a big loss? Do you think? Katie's obviously been so influential this season.
Of course, I think she's had a really strong season for us, but we have a strong squad. We have a lot of very capable players, so we focus on what we have available.
And as of today, we're at the Sobha Realty Training Centre, and Edu has kind of been talking about that partnership, how important obviously the training ground is to our lives. Can you just kind of expand on how important it is to create an environment that allows us to prepare well and perform at the highest level?
Yeah, it's going to take a little bit time to get used to saying Sobha Realty Training Centre compared to London Colney. But jokes aside, it is so important, the environment that we have here at the training centre, because that really lays the foundation for high performance. This is our bread and butter. This is what's going to set the tone. If we can create the right flow, the right environment, I think all high performance starts from there on. So I really think you can't overestimate that.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks. We'll come to the call if there's any further questions. Otherwise, we'll leave it there. Dan.
Hey Jonas, hope you're well. Just want to follow on with what you were saying, Tim, about West Ham there. Obviously, Rianne's come in and brought a different style to what Paul had West Ham playing last season. So, what have you made of the impact that she's made so far?
Yeah, I think they remind me a lot of how they looked the first season. When I was here, when Ollie Harder was the coach, they play a very similar type of football, both from a style and formation perspective. Have a lot of players that are well suited in doing that. I think they've. When people say that maybe they had a more quiet transfer window in the summer, but I think they brought in some really high quality player like Ueki, for example, the 9, who is a really, really good 9, and this window here with bringing in both players like Gori and Kirsty Mewis that have had tremendously good international careers as well. They're a really strong team. They have a strong squad, and like I said, I think the only thing that has missed for them is that they haven't really get rewarded for their performances in points. But as a team, you see they keep on going, they keep on believing, and that's usually a very good sign for them.